Good evening, YouTubers of the RC universe. Welcome to RC Heli Check UK, and what is a glorious day up here at the club. Nope. Once again, it's windy as hell. Look at that windsock. That is almost 90 degrees. So this is a common thing that we suffer with up at this club, which makes my videos a nightmare when it comes to test flying things. However, it doesn't stop me creating new content for you. And as you have probably figured out by now, I try to create many different things for you to be interested in. And today is no exception. We are going to be starting a new project. Now, don't think that because of this, all my other projects are going to be left behind, because they are not. I am simply trying to create as much different content for you as possible to keep you interested. All the projects that you have seen me do, like the Harrier, the Long Ranger, the Bell 230, etc, 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 I will be doing them and completing them, but I'd like to keep the content as varied as possible. My title says RC Heli Check UK, and that is what we are looking at today, a helicopter. But first, just a quick recap on other things. The Harrier, for example, as you know, the ones that have been following me will realise now that I've actually got vertical lift finally. However, that little thing in there is what's causing me grief at the moment. The KK2 board is what stabilises the Harrier with the 4 fans at the front, the back and on the wings. That is basically my issue at the moment, because I'm effectively working on my own. I have no idea what the hell I am doing. However, I have spoken to the guys that originally designed this model, and they have sent me a few starting points to go by. Once I understand what the hell it is they're on about, I'll hopefully be able to implicate it into this model and get it airborne. So that is going to be coming up very soon. Also, if you're interested, probably not, but hey, I'm telling you anyway, can you see what that is? Aviation buffs will know that that is an IL-76, or a drawing of one, and it is a start of a new project that I'm going to be working on. I am planning to build one of these, and it is not going to be small. I'm not too sure yet exactly what size it will be, but it'll either be around the 70mm mark or the 90mm mark. Either way, she's going to be big. But anywho, like I said, welcome to RC Heli Check UK. Let's get on with this video. So this is the subject of today's video. This rather sorry for itself looking Huey is a project that I have been meaning to sort out for the last nigh on 2 years. I think it's been nearly 2 years I've had this. I suffered a catastrophic doghouse failure. In other words, it kind of like went up into the blades. And it did a lot of damage, a hell of a lot of damage, which is really annoying because I put a lot of time and effort into this model. But I'm going to see if I can finally get this thing back in the air and looking good. Now, as you can see, she's been sat for quite a while, absolutely covered in, caked in dust. There is a lot of work that needs to be done on this, which is really annoying because, like I say, I did do a fair bit of work on it not long ago, 18 months ago. I even made interior, which I scratch built the whole lot. I'll take that out and you're going to have a look at it in a minute. And it did look quite a nice model. However, it was quite heavy. Now, I am not 100% sure what make this is. It could possibly be a Roban. I know it's supposed to be a 500 size. And looking at the original mechanics on it, it's definitely got Roban looking mechanics with the way that it's set up. However, I could be wrong, but that there's no matter. What we are trying to do today is we are going to fit this 4-blade rotor head to these mechanics and take all the servos out of this set of mechanics, which is a T-Rex 500 set of mechanics that is basically knackered. However, all the servos, the micro beast and everything else, including the rotor head, are good. So we're going to be transferring most of the stuff from this to the Roban mechanics, if it is Roban, but I believe it is. And then we're going to be setting that up to hopefully test fly. And in between, I'll be going through the rest of the stuff here of what we've got to see if we can identify exactly what model it is. These are the bits of crap that I need to sort out. Those are the windows that went underneath there, which came out. I'm not even sure whether I'm going to keep it in this colour scheme. I spent many weeks doing this colour scheme, and now that it's like this, I'm toying with changing it. I even built it's one of those things that sits underneath the helicopter. It's a what's it tank, I can't remember what they call them now, I forgot. But that sat underneath the helicopter, and well, that came off with the subsequent depart from the sky after the doghouse got smacked up. It also needs a new set of undercarriage. They all bent and broke. I do tend to scratch build my undercarriages, and I will show you how I do that when it comes to it. But the purpose of today's video, go through everything that's on here, check what's damaged, check what's not, see what we can do with the doghouse, and then have a look at the mechanics. It's quite late in the evening up here, like I say, because it's been windy. I've not come up here today until this evening. It's currently about 5:30 p.m. I'll probably be up here till around about 9:30, so I'm going to try and get as much as I can between now and then. And if I'm not happy with everything, I can always finish it tomorrow, because I'm definitely coming up tomorrow because the weather's looking a bit better. I'm also feeling crap inside. You might hear my breathing is suffering at the moment. I am struggling with my breathing. I suffer with bronchitis, and on hot days like it is today, my breathing tends to be a bit crap, so bear with me on that. But yeah, this is what we're going to be doing. This is what we're going to be looking at. I may, you know what guys, put in the comments below, should I keep it in the same colour scheme? Callie from Callie Graphics did an outstanding job with the graphics for me, and to be fair, the only thing that I really need to be getting replaced is this, but for that side, because it's gone. Now I might be able to get the bits that are left from the doghouse. I might be able to repair this doghouse and get it back to some kind of normality, and just touch up the graphics that have split, or I may just make a complete new doghouse, and then just speak to Callie. I'll give Callie an email, she'll know who I am, she'll have these on record, and I'll tell her which bits that I need, and hopefully she can redo me some new ones for quite a reasonable price, and then we'll keep it at this colour scheme. However, that all depends on you. So, do we keep it as a McDermott heli lift colour scheme, or do we go for something completely different, something completely new? It is a heavy helicopter, and I'm actually thinking that having this, which is really light, it's not that heavy to be honest with you, and various other bits and pieces on the helicopter that I don't really need to keep it as light as possible might be an option to go. But this bodywork needs a little bit of work and attention. So let me know in the comments below guys, what you think I should do. Do I keep it in the same colour scheme, or do I go for something completely different? Anyway, let's crack on. We'll have a look at these mechanics first, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do with those. So I'm going to put you down on the table, and then we'll go from there. This is some of the interior stuff that I did. I scratch built the whole lot of that. It's not brilliant, it's not the best, but I was quite chuffed with it, to be fair. It's looking a little bit worse for wear in places, stuff starting to come apart the way that it was. But I mean, again, this probably only weighs about 25-30 grams, something like that, so it's not heavy. I think the bulk of the weight of the helicopter is in the actual airframe itself. because like I say, it did feel a little bit heavy, but I might, when it comes to refurbing this, I might leave stuff like this out. I'm more interested in getting it flying than what it looks on the inside, because to be fair, once the doors and everything are all sort of like fitted on the way that they should be, does that go there? No, that don't go there. Does that go there? Yeah, I mean, when the doors are shut, I might tint the windows black anyway, so you can't really see. But again, this all depends on what you guys want me to do with it. I mean, do you want me to keep it as it is? Like I say, let me know in the comments below. I mean, I even made these things look. I mean, all this was like, where did these go? I can't remember now. But they were like bits and pieces that I made, that like ancillary parts and things. I think them bits went at the front there. Did they go in the front? Yeah, they did. You know, they went in the front there and whatnot, just for like static display, remove before flight, all that kind of stuff. Very cheaply made, like I am. But it all made the thing look quite good. I even have rotor blade that I made, what went on the ends of the blades, which then stretched to the skids and stop the blades from rotating around. However, delete, they're going to be redundant because, like I say, we're putting this 4-blade rotor head on. So yeah, let's crack on and see what we can do. Right guys, these are the mechanics from the actual Huey. Like I say, looking at them, I believe that they are actually Roban mechanics. It's difficult to say. If you are familiar with them, let me know in the comments below if you think that they are. It has got an Align Superpower RCM BL 500 MX motor, 1600 kV, and a 2-bladed rotor head on it. However, although the rotor head is fine, I'm not actually happy with this being on here. So I'm looking to basically replace this, like I say, with a 4-bladed rotor head. It's already got an Align 525M servo for the tail rotor, so I'm guessing with that being the case, it's got to be a 500 size model. But they're the mechanics for it. I need to really look into this, because I mean, it's got a weird setup with the servos and everything. But this is a T-Rex 500, an old T-Rex 500 set of mechanics, and it's been involved in a smack, and to be honest with you, the main gear drive's damaged. It's got a belt drive, which I believe the tail rotor, if I remember rightly, is bent, which it is, and the tail belt itself has snapped. So the mechanics on this are pretty much duff. I can probably salvage a lot of those parts and get it you know, back in the air, but my priority at the moment is to get the servos out of it, which are all Align, the Align servos. They're 53, they're DS530s for the cyclic, and it's got a what is it, that's a GoTech, never heard of it, digital servo for the tail rotor, but I'll stick with the Align one that's already in the tail of the mechanics for the 500 for the Huey. But yeah, I'm going to take the rotor head off, take the servos out. I'm even going to have a look, see if I can remove the motor and possibly use this motor, because this is a BL520MX 1600 kV motor. It's a bit more powerful, and with me putting a 4-blade rotor head on it, I think it'll probably be a better option to use that motor instead of the one that's in there, if it will fit, because it's slightly wider. I may need to make some modifications to get it in, but I'm going to take off the Micro Beast, because I can use the Micro Beast in it. I'm basically going to take all the electrics out and the rotor head off this, and then I'll do that in a time-lapse video, so you don't get bored to tears seeing me strip everything down, and then I'll come back to you when it's all out, and then we'll go from there. See you in a bit, guys. Right guys, everything's out, servos are out, motor's out. I had to take the whole side frames and everything off to get that out. Whether or not it'll fit in there, I don't know, because it looks quite wide compared to the other one. But I've got the main 4-blade rotor head off, and these things, I don't know if anybody's ever used these before. These Align 4-blade rotor heads, especially the 500 size, are a work of art. I mean, you know, they're so well put together, well made, well thought of, well machined. I mean, that's, like I say, that's a piece of engineering. I've got, where is it, bear with me, I've got in here, this is what the original rotor head on the on this helicopter came as, which I swapped over. That's the swash plate. That was the swash plate. Look at it compared to that. I mean, it just looks, I don't know, tacky. I mean, I'm guessing it probably worked, but I much prefer these ones. They're, you know, they're so much more better made. And you've got, like, that's the main rotor head, and I don't know if you can see, there's the head that sits on the top of it. These are the blades here, the blade grip holders. They just look tacky to me. Yeah, they probably work fine, to be honest with you, but I much prefer the Align one. I mean, you've got different lengths of arms and bits and pieces to put the rotor head together with, and like I say, I'm sure it probably would have worked fine, but I much prefer using the Align ones. They're so much more better made, I think. So that's what we're going to go with. The whole point of me stripping down these mechanics, like I say, was so I could use that 4-blade rotor head. I mean, they're not cheap. They're about $90, about 80 odd quid now, $90 in America. I think you can get them in the States, and I can imagine so. But yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a 4-blade rotor head for a 500 size helicopter, you've got the Roban original stuff, you've got stuff that you can get from Vario and whatnot, but for cheapness, these are brilliant. They are really good. They're really good rotor heads. So yeah, this is what I'm going to be using in our Roban helicopter. So now that that's done, I'm going to readdress the Roban mechanics, and I'm going to remove the motor, and I'm going to remove the rotor head. We'll start again. I'm going to remove the motor, and I'm going to remove the rotor head. I believe this is for a 550X, you know, because there's a little bit of play. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm actually able to wobble that up and down probably about 0.5 millimeter. So I don't think it's actually sitting on the shaft properly. I don't know, maybe it's just me. But yeah, I'll stick in time-lapse mode again. I'm going to put this, take the motor out, take the rotor head off, check the main shaft, and then I'll get back to you after you've been in time-lapse mode. Right, I've got the two motors out. Now, like I say, this was originally in the helicopter, Superpower, Align Superpower BL500 MX, powerful 1600 kV motor. This one's a Dominator, BL520 MX 1600 kV motor. But look at the difference in diameter. Can you see that? This one's probably about, well, hang on a minute, let's have a look. Yeah, this is 6mm wider than the original motor. However, the two motor mounts are exactly the same size in both ways, and the actual gear drives as well are both exactly the same. So when it comes to remounting them, I won't need to take them off the mounts or anything. All I'll need to do is undo these and adjust the gapping, because obviously this is going to be further away from the pinion than what this one was, with it being a smaller motor. But I should be able to sort of like hopefully fit this straight in. In fact, let's have a look. I've got a nasty suspicion that these side frames here might need to be ground down slightly, because I think it's going to be too wide. Let's have a gandery, let's have a look. Definitely fits straight in. Oh my god, no, that's perfect. I don't know if you can see that, guys, but I've got a good 2mm, 2.5mm gap between the side frames of the motor and the actual side frames of the mechanics. So yeah, it's going to fit. That's good. So all I need to do to get it to fit this main gear drive is I've got to undo 1, 2, C and F, and then this bottom frame will hopefully come out. Then I can bolt it in and then adjust the bottom of the screws for the mount plate itself and get it lined up with the correct amount of play that there should be between the pinion gear and the main gear drive itself. But before I do that, I'm actually going to give this main gear a clean because it looks crappy as hell. It must be daft. It's got to be daft. But I mean, rotating it around the way that I am doesn't look like the shaft's bent at all. But what I'll do before I start going any further, once I've got the motor fitted and whatnot, I'll quickly wire it up to the ESC and I'll get it on a battery checker and just power it up, because I should be able to see then if the shaft's bent or not. Hopefully it won't be, because I don't think these are the same as the Align main shafts. I think they're slightly different, but we'll see. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do next, and you're going to go into time-lapse mode with me doing it. Scratch that, can't fit it, which is a bummer, purely and simply because, yes, on the mount fits perfectly, the motor fits perfectly, but to undo these and slide it forward and to get the gear drive to even come anywhere close to the main gear, the motor hits that bar, which is the control arm bar for the, so I can't do it. I mean, I could re-drill these holes out that this bar goes through, but A, it's going to take too long, 2, it's pointless because it means then that these won't line up properly, and F, I just can't be bothered. So unfortunately we're going to have to stick to the original motor. However, being a 4-bladed rotor head, I'm not going to really need that much of a head speed anyway, he says. So we're going to go back to putting the original motor in, which I took out for exactly no reason whatsoever, and have to readjust everything to get it to sit back in the pinion, and then carry on with that. So yeah, let's do that. I'm going to do that off camera because it's pointless you seeing me reverse of what I just did. So back in a sec, guys. Look at this, guys. What a difference a couple of hours make. I've been in there since, what, 5:30 p.m. It's now 7:30 p.m. and the wind has dropped a hell of a lot. And I mean a lot. That windsock is still pointing quite horizontal, but very, very calmly. I would say it's gone from gusts of 30 mile an hour down to about 10. And it's getting calmer as the evening goes, which is a bit of a bugger because of the problems that I've had with this helicopter. It means I'm not going to be able to get it to test fly, not tonight anyway, which would have been perfect for it the way that the weather is. But we'll see how we go. We've probably got another couple of hours of light. The sun's behind them clouds over there, and I've probably got another couple of hours, but we'll see. If not, I'll just have to do it tomorrow. Hey ho. Okay, alright, I've got that fitted back in now. I've cleaned up the main gears and all that as well because it was dusty as dust. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to see if I can get this 4-bladed rotor head fitted, and you're going to go into time-lapse mode, so see you in a second. Well, good job I'm observant, isn't it? I don't know if you saw me showing you on the old time lapse, but the anti-rotation bracket on this helicopter broke, damaged, delete. Luckily the other one from the other helicopter fits it, so we've now got a rotor head fitted, a 4-bladed rotor head fitted with another anti-rotation bracket. So all I've got to do now is make up some control rods that will go from these arms to this swash plate. I want to try and keep, see the mixer arms here? Ideally, with these at 90 degrees, get it in camera, with these at 90 degrees, these anti-rotate, these mixer arms should also be at 90 degrees. So hopefully I can make up some control rods and be able to get that sorted. So that's the next process, ladies and gentle peeps. Back in a bit. Right, perfect. That's absolutely perfect. Let's see if I can show this to you on the camera. Right, that control arm is at roughly 90 degrees, and then if you look at the mixer arm at the top, that is also virtually at 90 degrees. So when it comes to setting it up now on the Micro Beast, I'm practically already there. The only one that I've got to do now is the elevator servo, but I can't do that until the servo is actually fitted. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fit the servos in, centre them all up mechanically, and then put the elevator servo in and get that one all lined up, and hopefully we'll be pretty much cock on. We're not far away then from actually test flying these mechanics. All I've got to do is then figure out, this gearbox looks like it needs a little bit of work, but I'm going to put the gearbox on, connect the control arm. There is another control arm here somewhere, there it is. That's the one that goes up the 45-degree angle, which then connects to this. So I'll get all that fitted then afterwards, and then hopefully we can get them mounted onto some kind of test bed, and then get them flown. I want to try and get at least everything set up so tomorrow I can go straight out with it as soon as I'm up here, like, and get these mechanics test flown. So I'll stick you in time-lapse mode where I'll fit all the servos in, and I'll see you in a bit. Okay guys, that's and guys, that's now sorted. Well, will be when I put this screw back in the servo arm. And I've just realised what I've done. Don't say anything, because I'm a moron. When I get this servo arm back in, right, they're all central, and what I forgot to do is put that on. So let's just put that on quickly. Yeah, I've got all the servos fitted. Everything is all centred mechanically as best as I can get it, and mixer arms are all nice and level. Where's my hole? She says, get in. Damn it. Yeah. How hard is it to put a screw in? Come on. There we go. No, that's no. Where? No, that's not it either. Come on. No. Oh my God. There we go. Yeah, all the servos are now fitted for the cyclic. I've mechanically centered them, and I have used the servo tester to make sure that everything's working okay. And yes, they're all going in the wrong direction at the moment, but that's where the micro beast will come into play in it. Oh my Lord, oh my God, don't go down there. That's where the micro beast will come into play. That'll help set everything up the right way around as it should be. But it's practically done. This is not the easiest of why it went in. It went in. No, I can't do it. Oh, yeah. Hang on a minute, guys. Turns out when you can see the hole, it's much better. That's what she said. Right. Yeah. So we're all working. Oh, that's going too far. But as you can see, let's get them central. 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees, just slightly off that one. That one's at 90 degrees, that's just slightly off, but I can do the levelling on there with the micro beast. Like I say, I mean, we are millimetres from anything worse for wear. No, yeah, I might actually mechanically do them, but that one's quite far off, to be honest with you. I didn't realise it was that bad. That one's alright, but that one's quite far off. So yeah, that's that bit done anyway. So I'm going to go on to the tail rotor unit and have a look at this gearbox, take it apart and have a look. I appear to be missing screws. I'm kind of hoping that they're in a bag with all screws in that I've got put to one side for this. And then we'll see if we can get this tail rotor fitted and whatnot. And then, to be honest with you, once I've done that, just set up the micro beast, get everything sorted out, get some blades. I've got about 26,000 blades here. I've got loads of blades here. They're all the same size, but some are painted, some are not. But I can get 4 blades out of there somehow, closest matched. They're going to be painted, but we'll get the weights as close as possible and balance them out, and then fit it to a test rig and away we go. So, right, onto the tail. See you in a bit, guys. well, that's the tail fitted. Had a right game getting that on, but we're all done. And as you can see, servo's all connected, nice and firm, she said. And all mechanics all now done, effectively finito. So what I've got left to do now is to plug in the old micro beastie with its cellulite, and then like I say, try and come up with some kind of, I mean, that's really weird. Look how that is. I mean, because it's kind of like square. Not, I've got to, I'll probably have to put a block in here or something. We'll make a frame with plywood that will go across here with an upright that this bit can sit on. Make it a little bit wider or a bit longer. That way I can put the batteries on the front then to keep the CG. But there we go. One 4-bladed rotor head fitted, and one tower rotor fitted with 45-degree angle. So I think, looking outside, it's black. Hang on a minute, start again. Looking outside, it's dark. Another hour and a half has gone by while I've been doing all that, and although it's not pitch black, it's twilight. So I think I'm going to have to call it quits, because it's got to be 9 o'clock, 9 PM, and that's it. So I think what we'll do, we'll call it quits on that for this video, guys. As you can see, we're almost there, and then I'll do another video with the finishing of the setting up of the mechanics with the beast decks and the like, and then we'll test flight. And then once, oh look, I look orange, that's disgusting. And then once it's all done and test blown, we can then start looking at sorting out this kind of mess down here. But there we go. Sorry, it's a short one, guys. I'm not exactly feeling 100% at the moment, so we'll call it quits, like I say. Hope you've enjoyed it. I know it's a bit boring setting up all this kind of stuff and whatnot to some people, but hey ho, it's another project on the go. Click the like button, subscribe if you're not already subscribed to me, and we'll see you next time, guys, with part 2 on this, which will probably more than likely be tomorrow. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later.